In Britain, the law says that children can be held responsible for their crimes. But with the vast majority getting into trouble again, will these three boys be able to leave here and never come back?
I'm not going in there. I need to go to my room now.
It's very tricky when we've got somebody here or we know somebody's coming that's potentially dangerous.
There's cases of young people that's committed rape, arson, robbery, usually with threats of violence. The extreme is obviously murder.
We get a lot of paperwork with somebody that comes, and we need to be aware of what that says, if there's any history. At the same time, we need to take every person for who they are when they arrive, and we need to judge them on what they're like when they're here.
Turnover at Vinnie Green is high. Some young people are here for just a few days, waiting to find out what's next. Others are here for months. A few stay for years. Ashley, who's recently arrived at Vinnie Green, has been here once before. It's his 5th stay at a secure children's home, by the age of 16.
Wherever you go, you're being watched. When you come out on Astro, it turns out to be more of a prison. You're being watched 24/7. You got all the gates, you got the bars, you can't go nowhere. Whereas in there, it just feels like you're in a normal school, like.
This is day 21 for Ash. But being caged is a way of life for him.
Sometimes I wish I was a bird. So just fly away, never come back. Get me? Never come back.
Like most of the kids at Vinnie Green, Ash started his downward spiral at an early age.
I started getting into drugs. I started smoking weed, drinking, going out on Friday nights, getting violent, just beating people up, getting arrested. And then one day I was out of control and I took a car. And just like drove off. I was only 12, 13. It was like the wrong thing to do. We should never did it, but it's just something that happened. I can't change it, but I do regret it.
No one is born evil. Children are children. They may come from a disadvantaged background, but they have the qualities to overcome those disadvantages.
Okay. When they close the door at night, first time, you're like, whoa, what's happening to me? And then it will just gradually work on you. And then it sometimes can drive you mad when they shut it. And it feels nasty for the first time. You're like, ah, shit, what's happening to me? And then basically, it's scary, you know.
Ryan is being protected from the tougher boys who have a reputation for fighting. The other Ryan is 17 and has been here already for 180 days in a number of fights since arriving at Vinnie Green. He's been in trouble with the police since he was 9.
Started off just like little things, like assaults, fighting, criminal damage, theft, stuff like that. And then, obviously, as you get older, I was drinking, drugs, stuff like that. And then serious fights and more serious stuff. Well, the first time I got caught for anything, like 9, 10, something like that. But I think it was criminal damage, and just lost my temper and smashed someone up. Yeah.
Every single government's trying to look at it as how you break that cycle, the criminal offending, criminal route, which young people get into and then carry on through that into their adulthood. With some young people, it's about directing them and giving them the best opportunity.
What establishments like Vinnie Green are meant to do is actually, you know, put a lot of expensive resources into them at a younger age, because if we can stop someone offending in later life, actually there is economic savings and social savings for the country. But it's about accepting that you might have to put that money and time in now and won't reap the benefits for 20 years' time.
Get yourself out of bed. Ryan, let's go. Take your tablet from me.
I've been going to special needs schools since I was about 6. Didn't like it, kept running away from home, mixing with the wrong people, smoking weed, and basically I got into trouble. My family's never been in trouble, but I'm basically the bad one out of my family. There's always one say there's a bad apple.
Robin, Ryan's dad, is separated from his mum and has 4 children older than Ryan. Ryan has lived with him since he was 4.
Ryan, my favourite little boy, on his beanbag. When he was born at the hospital, he was an emergency cesarean. Right? He was a distressed baby, just didn't seem to do anything. 2 there, he couldn't use his hands or nothing, because that's what he would say. And he'd sleep a lot, he wouldn't involve in anything, he couldn't talk until he was 5.5, 6. I took him to speech therapy and also play therapy and also for a paediatrician and everything. I took him up there to get him on track. It really makes me upset, and it really does get to me, because I feel that I've not done the job properly, you know? I feel that, what have I done wrong? Why is it it's turned out like this? My kids, they're world to me, you know, always have been. And this one is real hard work, Ryan, but I'm still there for him.
Obviously, when Ryan arrived, it was very easily identified that there were vulnerability concerns.
Why do I keep missing?
Throw it down, throw it across.
The paperwork that came with Ryan also suggested that, but you could tell, you know, with conducting the assessments, that his level of understanding would cause problems within the secure unit.
For his own protection, Ryan is moved around the unit 5 minutes after the other boys are taken to their classes. Ash has been at Vinnie Green for 6 weeks now, and he's still not prepared to comply with basic rules, like keeping his hands out of his trousers.
You're not going to go about education there, because this is a health and safety risk. We've got to worry about other people's hygiene and stuff like that. I'm sorry, but you're not. This is like a really simple request. You won't be going back to education. It's your call.
I'll be going to education then. But the thing is, if I'm not allowed to education, then people are going to have to start restraining them, isn't they? Because I'm not going back to my room.
If you're in somewhere like Vinnie Green, you've got very little control about what you do, because we dictate what you do and how you're going to do it. Actually, because he's got no control in his life, is taking the only action that he can do by manipulating certain situations where you know that the staff will have to respond in a certain way.
Another rule is that the kids can't stop and block the corridors. So that's exactly what he does.
It comes to the stage with Ashley where we've got to get him to move. Restraint is always the last line of our defence, really. Try everything else first.
Ashley cries out for attention, and we usually do really negative things to get that attention. The aftermath of that, he is really low. He's usually very apologetic afterwards, but that's how Ash is, that's how he's coped.
And how does it feel when you get restrained or something like that?
Great.
Why? Explain that to me.
It's a thrill, it's a buzz. Just like getting in a fight on the out, it's a buzz.
Been sent back down. Back in Medway, I've got 4 due to. I get out like 2 weeks after you. we should meet up and get fucked out of our heads, get a car or something, request a transfer to here. It's better than Vinnie Green. My favourite words is bigger up. And basically I'm going to juke you up. And the way my mate says it, and then it's funny. He just goes, yeah, I'm going to juke you up, bruv. Like, it's basically going to rush someone. If you want to know what that means, it's basically going to rub someone up for their money or something. Basically, it's slang tool. You go up to people who don't know the slang words, and then they're going to go, what's that mean? And you'll be like, you'll find out if you keep pissing me off. We talk like that because we think we're bad, but we're not. Like, we all think we're bad, but yeah, we know the truth, we're not bad. Because it's all about the people who we hang around with.
Ryan has never been in trouble here, but the temptation to succumb to peer pressure is very high for him.
I think it's probably true in society, but people are looking to belong to something. And some people belong in their families and that works for them. Some of them belong with their friends. Some people's friends are their gangs. And people want to belong. And for Ryan, I know he's got a good mate. He belongs with that person. Unfortunately, their sense of fun and their purpose is gained from doing things which actually aren't allowed. And that's what breaking the law is.
Ash has been at Vinnie Green for 8 weeks now, and he's still behaving in the same way. After disrupting a class, he refuses to move.
And normally with Ashley, if you try and cajole him into moving, you know, just gentle sort of taps on the back, etc., sometimes Ashley will move, other times he won't. And that's when you could see from the CCTV footage that I, with another member of staff, gave each other the wink, which was when we decided that we had to move him. There was no other way out of it, really. He had to move to enable the rest of the group to function. In a lot of cases, any attention is better than no attention. Young people like Ashley, that sometimes all they want to do is physically be held, and it's almost like replacing the parent that's been missing in their lives. It's almost like they just want to cuddle, really, a lot of the time. And you find once you've grabbed hold of them, once they've had their little struggle, then all the tension goes out of them. Then they relax, and there's never any hostility aimed towards you.
These young people, they are very complex individuals with lots of issues. They have basically been told pretty much most of their lives they won't amount to anything.
What you do see is some young people that have been brought up in some really difficult circumstances, and you can see that the majority of them have not been treated well. Most of the young people in here have had other troubles. Life has not been good.
When I was about 3, my ma abandoned me and left me with my dad, and up till about age of 6, my dad just beat me with baseball bats, weapons, and just damaged me. And then at the age of 6, I run off, and the police took me, and they stuck me in care for my own safety. And then since about the age of 6, I've been in care and been moved around home to home, children's homes, foster homes, different counties, down to like Cornwall. I've been to different secure units. I've been to 4 other secure units. From my mum, I kind of hated my mum for it, and still do. From my dad, I wish that he gets exactly what he gave me. But obviously I wasn't happy about it, I didn't like it, but there's nothing I could do about it, I was little. So...
It takes a long time to undo the damage. far longer than what we've got them for. It's difficult. It's very difficult for him. Yeah.
Teachers work constantly on the children's self-esteem. Ashley has got 4 weeks to go now.
Fuck this, grab the whole lot.
Stop. Stop there, stop there.
It's not that bad.
I bet you didn't say that either, did you?
I don't give a fuck.
Keep practicing and you'll get better, definitely.
No, I'm not good with my words, so people say things I don't understand it and it's like... So I got to make simple bars for myself to understand it.
But that's how you start. Eventually, you'll build on that. Just have confidence. It will.
I got none of that confidence shit.
Well, you should have.
He's a nice young man, actually, but really quite down on himself and doesn't feel that there's a whole lot that he can do. This is a frustration. So many times this happens. Somebody does a piece of work, we're on there going, you've done great, you're doing really well. No, it's rubbish.
I don't do that, huh? Come on, you ladies up there. Ashley, come on. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. You want to do that? Stop it. Ashley, come on. You need to go now.
Thinking about going makes me like the happiest man. I just can't wait. Can't wait to get wrecked. Can't wait to have fun, can't wait to see my mates, can't wait to smoke a fag. And can't wait to get up to my usual self. My trouble self. By Christmas I'll be back inside, I reckon.
Why?
Don't know, it's just my life. Trouble.
Underpinning all the work here is building the kid's self-confidence. Ryan gets one-to-one input. He's dropped the idea of wanting a transfer and is making progress.
You know, there's plenty more that you can do with cars. It's not just about grabbing somebody else's car and going out and joyriding it. If you've got your own car that you care about and you know how to work on and treat well, then perhaps you'll end up having more respect for other people's property as well, because you sort of get to know what somebody's car means to them.
Better?
Yeah. My youngest brother was only 3 months old. I left school to look after him.
They're also working on things Ryan struggles with.
When I was 12 years old,
the unit see dramatic rises in educational achievement. On average, reading ages improve by 2 years for young people who stay for 3 months or longer.
When I was on the out, I wouldn't go to school, and I've learned how to basically write properly, read, basically do all that.
Obviously, the concern is when he leaves, because he's not going to have 24/7 supervision. It's so easy to go off the rails when you first go out because you've been locked inside, and the first thing you want to do is go and see your mates, not come in at a certain time, and that is when a lot of young people fail. Can be easily swayed by other young people, and that, to me, is about being accepted.
When he leaves Vinnie Green, Ryan is going home to live with his dad.
Okay, if you're reading them, do you think they're fair, I do?
Ryan is being allowed out on certain conditions. At his visit, his dad has brought with him a set of rules so that Ryan knows exactly what's expected of him when he goes home.
If you do go out during the week, you be back home no later than 9:30.
You've never been able to stick to certain rules.
Ryan's case manager, Georgina, has to make sure that he fully understands the implications of these rules.
We'll come home after school so I can see how school went. Do you understand what that means? What do you think Dad meant by that?
Like if I had some bad days and then and I don't wanna. I shouldn't do that. I should speak my problems.
Right, so it's about ironing out problems. Dad can't do anything, he's not a mind reader, is he?
No.
If you don't tell him, he can't do anything about it. What you've practiced and what you've learned from being in here, you've got to try and do that outside, haven't you?
Mm.
And I think, you know, if you think you're being dragged into something, you have got to talk to somebody. You've got to talk to Dad, because it's too late once you've, you know, gone beyond that and you've done something wrong. Because I know you can be easily encouraged, can't you? And your mates are having a good time, and you think you're having a good time because they're including you. You've got to think about what your goal is, and that's about keeping to the rules and boundaries and keeping out of trouble. You can easily get drawn into it, Ryan, you know that.
No, no.
Anybody can, all right?
Not everyone makes plans with their family.
Huh?
The other Ryan has his own plans for his life, and the 210 days of discipline seem to have had an effect.
This is a careers book which just tells me about how to join, what it's like in there, the training you got to go through. Like, it tells you about the pay, the pension, what happens if you get injured, stuff like that. It sounds quite good, like, well, not getting injured, but I mean, like, all the stuff they give you. And if I get out, the only thing that would bother me is, like, getting back into drugs and stuff like that. Because obviously, I'm one of them people that did enjoy a smoke, like smoking cannabis, and if I had the choice, I'd probably do it again, but the fact that I'm getting older now, I want to get out and join in, like, the Marines when I get out, so obviously you've got to be fit to do that, and when I get out, I want to get into that as soon as possible so I don't have a chance to get back into drugs. Since I've come in now, I've been, like, a lot fitter and stuff like that, because obviously we still have a laugh and that in here, but we just can't get the alcohol, the drugs and stuff like that, so, but, you know, so even if we wanted it, we can't, which is a good thing about it in a way.
Ash has been at Vinnie Green for 10 weeks now, and he too is changing.
It's called rendering.
I'm learning to plaster, paint and decorate. I'm doing this, then I've got to wait for it to dry, then it'll show me all the little holes, fill it back up.
Ashley is the type of lad you just warm to. She's one of the ones I wish we had for 2 years, if not longer. If he got into college with different friends, positive role models, there is possibly a chance for us.
Okay, so one in the front, one in the back. Best thing in Vinnie Green is probably the vocational centre. For me personally.
Don't bring it all out, just get plenty on there.
It's helped me to take my anger out on something positive, so that if I feel frustrated and I come over here, I work it off. I do work and it feels like when I leave I don't feel angry. It's helped me to maybe think better. It's given me time to think about things. Well, Han, I'm asking you, do you want help?
Yeah, you are.
Basically.
You've got to do it faster, like more than that.
Yeah, basically just flop it on.
It's 10 days since Ash has been restrained. Being less difficult and disruptive has helped him to make some friends.
Let's get back over the wall now.
Oh, he's so cute, isn't he? Isn't he? I just said, you're cute, right? He's so cute, isn't he? I told my mother about him the other day, so...
Look at that ass!
Yeah, Ashley, fucking shut up.
Shaking that ass. Watch it, baby, shaking that ass.
Ryan has managed to get his hands on rosary beads, although they're only copied onto a T-shirt. But as he settles down to his last week at Vinnie Green, he's found something he enjoys.
Every time he's out here, he works really hard. There's a few kids that come out and will do it, but he'll do the work the entire time, no matter what you ask him to do. He's more than happy to do it. I can imagine he'll end up doing something like this. Hopefully get a job when he gets out. But unless they've got a job instantly that day when they get out, even a couple of days, and they're back into not being bothered, and, you know, so it is hard. It's a shame, really, because they do a lot of work in here that's really good, and then get out to the same friends, the same group of mates that are sort of causing trouble, and it's easy for them to get back into the lifestyle straight away.
Right. See you
in a bit.
Yeah. When I switch my lights off and then I go to bed, I'm gonna be thinking about Friday night when I go to the rave and get smashed out of my face.
But do you think going to a rave is a good way to start?
Yeah.
Best of luck, alright? You take it easy.
Yeah.
And stay out of trouble, alright?
You reckon get a hug?
Yeah.
It's okay, don't come back this time.
I won't.
Alright, let's go. Ryan, all the best.
After 3 months, Ryan leaves. But he must stick to the rules. Otherwise, he could face returning to Vinnie Green. Ash has a few more days to go.
The plan for him is to stay in his local area and to go to a community home with 4 other young people and to get him on some kind of painting, decorating training course. He's got a natural flair for that.
The work that I've done here is probably the best achievement I've actually done in my life. I'm not used to working this hard. Normally I give up. I don't want to do nothing. I'd want to really stay out of trouble, get myself a job, get myself a missus and settle down. Not being in and out of these places. So, it's all good. All good. It's just up to me now. It's what I choose.
But the plans for his departure are proving anything but straightforward.
There was rumoured the beginning of this week that the placement had broken down. They were basically notifying us to say that they were looking for something else and they needed to do a risk assessment.
If somebody comes and tells him you're not going where you thought you were going, he's going to be a problem between now and when he goes, I'm sure. But he doesn't like not knowing, I think.
No.
It's one of the ones you need to know ahead of time where he's going.
Yeah.
His last full day begins with a surprise visit from the police.
I'm not sure if he's about to be charged, but he's not exactly in the best of spirits at the moment. You would think that knowing that somebody is locked up for this period of time, that they would come and deal with outstanding matters within the first week or 2 weeks of them being there, but that obviously isn't always the case.
Ash is not told what's going to happen to him.
The police come to interview me about a burglary. Me and my brother supposedly broke into a house that was a cannabis factory and apparently we robbed it, but I don't know nothing about it. So they've left it like that, and they said if it comes against it, it could be that I get charged when I get released and that I could be de-arrested.
Are you worried about it?
No, not at all. Doesn't really bother me, it's just I just want to get out. Anything that happens, happens, but as long as I get out, I'm cool.
His last night is spent not knowing whether he will be arrested at the gates in the morning.
You must attend your appointments. If you miss 2 appointments, your saint have not been saint.
Within 2 weeks, Ryan has broken the rules. He's failed to attend important meetings and has received a final warning.
Not very happy with it, of course. He should have gone. He had enough warnings. He had the day before he was warned. He was warned the night, and he was warned in the morning. And when I went, I told him, and also rang him 3 times. He wouldn't get out of bed. It's as simple as that. So it was down to him. I can't hold his hand and take him there. If he can't be bothered, then he'll end up where he ended up before.
I broke another one of my dad's rules.
How's he feeling about that?
Kind of upset and angry at the same time. But life goes on, doesn't it? So good.
His last night is spent not knowing whether he will be arrested at the gates in the morning.
You must attend your appointments. If you miss 2 appointments, your saint have not been saint.
Within 2 weeks, Ryan has broken the rules. He's failed to attend important meetings and has received a final warning.
Not very happy with it, of course. He should have gone. He had enough warnings. He had the day before he was warned. He was warned the night, and he was warned in the morning. And when I went, I told him, and also rang him 3 times. He wouldn't get out of bed. It's as simple as that. So it was down to him. I can't hold his hand and take him there. If he can't be bothered, then he'll end up where he ended up before.
I broke another one of my dad's rules.
How's he feeling about that?
Kind of upset and angry at the same time. But life goes on, doesn't it? So good.
Ash is given his last breakfast behind bars.
He's quite a prolific offender, and if I'm absolutely honest, it's kind of a way of life for him. I think he finds kind of comfort in being with his friends and offending because it's like a family. So it's 50-50 really. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Ashy back here, but I've crossed my fingers like I do with all young people that when he leaves he won't come back.
When he leaves Vinnie Green, social services will take over responsibility for where Ash will live.
I'm a free man, I want to walk out that gate right now.
His social worker has come to collect him, but he's got bad news. They haven't found him a bed.
A referral was made to placement. There wasn't a bed available, and nothing's been sorted out. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
What are they going to take? Where are they going to take?
They haven't got anything for him. So it could be a foster placement in Western.
He'll run away from. If he gone tonight, he's got savings. Money with 20p.
But Georgina still has to break the bad news to him.
You may get a little bit upset. I'm sure I would have, because there was a placement initially all set up for him.
How many times are you going to do it to him?
He's left here now without a bed. Nowhere to go. Don't know where he's going. So they've got to find something for him. And it could be anything, really.
Sorry, just very literally. Sorry, what do you want to do? Jump in the car.
There's no sign of the police at the gate. But Ash leaves Vinnie Green with 20p in his pocket and no idea where he's going to stay tonight.
I gave him 50-50 earlier this morning. We're not looking at 50-50 now because, you know, he's gonna probably run away from anywhere he is. He's only taken 20 pence savings with him. Yeah. So what's he going to do? He's going to... I don't know. I don't want to jinx him, but it's not looking good.
Switched off. Not seen him today, not heard from him, not a word or a dicky bird.
Ryan has started to hang out with his old mates. It's nearly midnight, and he's failed to come home.
He's obviously decided that it's more fun getting into trouble than it is being home and sleeping and not getting into trouble. There's nothing else I can do. I can't go home and chain him to the wall or something, or go down there and bust his, you know, sort of bring him back here and say, you got to be here and you're not doing this. It doesn't work that way. I don't know how I feel. I just feel so mixed up and so let down.
Hi. You got Ryan? Lovely. Okay, do you want to come through to the side gate?
4 weeks after Ryan left Vinnie Green, he arrives back. For the third time in 9 months.
Hi, Ryan. Hi, Ryan. Welcome back. Welcome back, mate. Do you want to come through?
I'm one of those people that do believe that sometimes young people do need to be detained, actually for their own good, for society's good. We need to do that as humanely and as positively as possible. Try and treat them with respect and dignity.
It's 6 months since Ash left Vinnie Green. He stayed with a foster family, then went into a flat provided by social services. He decided to leave and is now living in a squat.
I had a vision that I could change when I got out. Had the fact that it got me away from like all my friends, the drugs, it just got me away from it all and it gave me time to think. But you get outside and things don't go how you want it to do and then you end up straight back in the same situation as you was before you went in. Really wanted to change in Vinnie, but then I got out and things just went like, just like an airplane dropping onto 2 towers. Just like disaster, kaboom. This is just basically, just everything got fucked up. I still can change, I still reckon I can change. But it's fucking hard. So hard. But one day I'll change. One day.